Well, hello, everybody. We're still trying to get set up, having a little bit of problems here.
Well, hello,
Give me just a second and I'll have it.
We're still trying to
Get it going. Doggone this thing. I'm having all kinds of trouble today. Give me just a second.
having a little bit of problems here.
Give me just. It's like replaying over and over and over. I think we're up now. All right, folks. As you can tell, the kind of week I'm having, we're going to jump right into it. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Let's start the show by doing what we always do. Let's say hello to the channel members. We've got 5 of them right now. One of them, it's his birthday. It's the first one we're going to mention tonight. It's Robbie Ross. He's having a birthday tonight. I think he's going to join us. In honor of him and his birthday, I put the Dallas Cowboy background. I wore my Dallas Cowboys shirt. And you might ask, what does my Ford hat have to do with the Dallas Cowboys? They are the official, the F-150 is the official truck of the Dallas Cowboys. So got all that in there. I didn't have a Dallas Cowboys hat, so that was the best I could do. And so, yeah, that's what's going on there. Everybody wish him a happy birthday. And either through the comments or at least in your head, or if you see him out in public somewhere, tell him happy birthday. Let's see. This week, we're going to get to your comments here in just a minute. Did a ton of news stories again. Man, the loads on the load board were weird this week. There was a lot of them that were paying like $3 a mile, but they were what they call drop trailer loads. And it's where when you get to the delivery, you drop your trailer there and they can take 2 to 3 days to unload it. So you would call these brokers to try to negotiate, and they would say, man, we're already paying $3 a mile. And it was very difficult to get them to understand, well, yeah, you're paying $3 a mile, but if it takes me 4 days to complete this load because my trailer's tied up, then it's not worth it. And so I delivered in Amarillo last night at 12:30 and spent most of the day till about mid-afternoon looking for a load. And then I just ended up coming to Lubbock. I'll try again tomorrow. Something funny happened there too. So appointment was at 12:30 last night. It was with a very large brokerage company. If I said the name, many of you would know who it was. And they have an after-hours department. So I called them about 1 a.m. this morning to get a comm check for a lumper. And, of course, nobody answered. I finally got somebody on the phone from India, of all places, barely spoke a lick of English. Finally got the code out of them. But instead of sending me the code so I could use it, they sent the code to Scott because his email's the one on Highway, which is how they verify carriers and stuff. And so I had to call him at like 1:30 in the morning and wake him up to get that code from him. And I'm sure he really appreciated that. I begged him not to make me do that. I told him, I said, you're going to make this guy mad. Just text me the code, email me the code, whatever you need to do. And they did not want to do it. They had to send it to Scott, and I had to call him and get the code. And I pulled out of the receiver with about 8 minutes on my logbook. If any of you has ever been to Affiliated Foods in Amarillo, they've got truck parking right across the street from the Affiliated Foods. And I pulled in there and did my post trip and went to bed, slept by 6 or 7 hours, and then I got up and started looking for loads. And that was pretty much my day. I'm curious to hear how y'all's week's gone, what you've noticed out there in the world. And so we're going to jump right into it. Let's start with some comments. And, I hate to tell everything in the first 5 minutes of the video because, here in 30 minutes or so, when we've been going a little bit, somebody will come on here and ask, and we have to hash back over it. It's better if I can kind of spread it out through the deal. But anyway, we're here now. I've told you what's been going on in your world. Now it's your turn to tell me what's been going on in your world as we continue here. One more thing we can talk about is a lot of you saw that accident in Florida where the foreign driver, there's been some developments there, tried to make a U-turn across the toll road and got T-boned by a minivan, killed all 3 occupants of the minivan. If you're following me on the Trucker Todd Facebook page, I did put a video up there where you can see that. They recently gave him an English proficiency test. He did horrible on it. They found out that he got a license out of Washington State and then another one out of California. This story just keeps getting better and better. And he was stopped in New Mexico for speeding, and they did not give him an English proficiency test or put him out of service or anything. That's my understanding. I believe New Mexico has yet to put one person out of service for English language proficiency. So this guy fell through the cracks like so many do, and 3 people lost their lives because of it. Now, just some general observations. I've wrestled with if I even wanted to talk about this or not, because so many YouTube channels have covered it and done a great job of it. They've gave great insight and thoughts about it. So I didn't know that I could articulate or add to it. But the thing that got me is the view I've got on my Facebook, on my Trucker Todd Facebook. If you look at it, he's got an inward facing camera, and he's got his truck jackknifed enough that you can see the minivan as it hits his trailer. And while you're watching it that those 3 people died, as you later find out. But what the guy, his facial expressions, maybe he was in shock or whatever. He's talking to his co-driver who's in the passenger seat, but he just kind of makes a reaction like I hit a speed bump. And he gets out of the truck, and it's an emergency scene, and he's just kind of standing there with this bewildered look on his face. They also gave him some tests to see if he could recognize traffic signs. He was only able to recognize like 2 out of 6 or 2 out of 8. So he wasn't aware of what traffic signs meant. His English was horrible. So, I mean, he may not have known he couldn't make a turn there. He can't read the signs. He doesn't understand the language. But I blame, and he's at fault. I get it, folks. But I also blame California and Washington State, because they are part of the reason this happened. And so, I've had to be real careful, because it sounds like I'm being a racist, and I'm really not. I totally get why people from other countries would want to come here and try to better their life, and I'm fine with it. But if you come here, you've got to assimilate. You've got to learn our language. You've got to learn our customs, things like that. Just like I'd have to do if I moved to France or Germany or any other country. I'd have to learn their language. I'd have to learn their traffic laws, what's allowed, what's not allowed. And to think that they can come here and not have to make any changes is just mind-blowing. We're experiencing something similar in Texas from the influx of California residents moving here because it's cheaper. And I don't have anything against California or California residents, but they're bringing their same bad ideas and bad policies with them that mess California up. And if they don't learn to assimilate with Texas ways, we're going to be just like California at some point. And so hopefully they'll learn from their past. Like I said, I don't mind them coming here, but they need to realize that their thoughts and their beliefs is what put California in the condition that it's in. And we're doing things different here in Texas. And that's why our taxes are cheaper, our cost of living's cheaper, and generally speaking, our lifestyle's better. Same thing with Florida. Florida's getting an influx of New York State people, mainly New York City, because the property taxes are so much cheaper. And the New Yorkers moved to Florida with their Northeast ideas, and you got to be careful, or Florida will turn into New York. And I mean, ideologically anyway. But anyway, I'm just throwing out there what's on my mind. Let me hear what's on your mind. Let's get into these comments and get started. First up is the birthday boy, the moderator, the channel member, Robbie Ross. Hello, friends from Belle Plains, Kansas, heading to Goodyear, Arizona. Good to have you in here tonight. I hope you're having a good birthday, even though you're working out here on the road. Here's a guy I've been meaning to call and just hadn't got around to it. Red Raider Reloading, who's also a moderator. Hello, all. Hello, Red Raider. And Red Raider again, moderator says, I'll be listening, running 3 hours behind, thanks to the warehouse. Headed to DFW. Oh, I didn't tell that story. I'm glad you mentioned that. So on my load I had that went to Las Cruces, it was a load of lockers going to the new stadium that they're remodeling there. And I had talked to that guy on Friday. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a quick unload. I had booked another load after that was supposed to pick up at 11 over in Deming. I got there at 8 in the morning. Started off, they gave me the wrong address, and I was about a mile away. And I called the guy, and he's like, oh, yeah, let me send you a pin drop of where we're really at. And I drove over there, and it was a mess. They said they had to have it ready by next week, and trust me when I tell you, they got their work cut out for them. But anyway, I get there, and the guy comes up. Yeah, Todd, I was wrong. It's going to take 3 or 4 hours at least. And I was like, crap, that's going to mess up my other load after this. So I called the broker for the next load. We got it moved. I told him I'd be there at 3 p.m. and I ended up getting over there about 1:30, which is always good when you can get there earlier than what you tell them. And so anyway, it was kind of cool how they did it. They had these ridiculously long pallets, and they would lay like the moving blankets, like household movers use, on the pallet, and then lay the lockers sideways on the pallets on their side. And then they would put straps on them, like flatbed straps, and have another like moving blanket between the strap and the top so it wouldn't scratch them or dent them. And that way they wouldn't fall off the pallet on the way to the locker room where they were going to be installed. They said those lockers, though, are around $10,000 a piece, they thought. And I thought, man, that's crazy. And one of the guys goes, yeah, and they built them kind of cheap. They're not that great to begin with, and they're $10,000. But I guess, these colleges have a lot of money to spend, and that's a good way to spend it, I guess. You want your guys going into a locker room that is comfortable and that you can take pride in and things like that. But yeah, it was I ran my tail off. I ran from Deming, New Mexico to Amarillo almost nonstop. I stopped for my 30-minute break, and that was it. And I got there like 45 minutes before my appointment time, which, again, that's fine, but it's way closer than I like to cut it. I like to be at least 2 hours early. Here's our newest channel member, Newman Attack. He says, we're all behind today. Yeah, as you kind of saw at the start of the show, I was having a lot of technical problems. I finally got everything working, and I'm still having technical problems. My banner ain't up there. Let's get it up there. I'm glad y'all stuck with me, though. Glad I could get on here as quick as I could. Newman Attack channel member. Did you ever have a friend cut you out of their life and you didn't know why? You'd be surprised. Since I started this YouTube channel a little over 4 years ago, I've got more friends than I've ever had in my life at one time. But I've lost a lot of really good friends that I never saw it coming, and I've lost them over stupid things. It's not like valid reasons; it's really dumb things. And I don't know. Maybe I'll do a show one of these days and tell stories about friends I lost over idiotic things. And moderator, Red Raider Reload, and family should be able to sue Washington and California. Yeah, from what I understand, I was watching some stuff on this earlier today. Washington gave him an unrestricted CDL. I'm using the wrong terminology, but that's basically what it was. And for asylum seekers, it's supposed to be restricted. And so Washington gave him the wrong license to begin with. And then California gave him one a year or two later with the correct stuff on it, the way I understand it. But here's the deal. You're only supposed to have one license at a time. And the report I saw earlier was real unclear about if he was using two licenses simultaneously or if the Washington license had lapsed or what had happened. But the guy was speeding in New Mexico and got pulled over. And that in and of itself is not a big deal. We've all been pulled over in New Mexico for something. If you drive through there with any regularity, they set up all kinds of speed traps and stuff to confuse you. Sometimes they'll change the speed limit and there's not a speed limit sign out there. But when they pulled him over and saw that he didn't speak English, he should have received a citation and he should have been placed out of service. Now, we're at the point in the show already, 17 minutes in, where I better tell you guys, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a tax professional. Anything I say is my own personal opinion. And if anything I say sounds too good to be true or like total baloney, you need to do your own research and possibly hire a professional. You should never listen to me for legal advice. Just know this is my opinion and my opinion alone. And I put something that says something similar to that in the ticker below this screen. Please feel free to read this. Gary Joe Harless is here. Just finished speaking to him earlier today. Nice guy, lives on the outskirts of Lubbock. And he's a truck driver. I believe he was in North Carolina today. And so he had a lot of great information for me. He's worked at Hirschbach before. He's worked at Hurricane before. He's currently doing, I believe, a lease purchase at Swift. And we had a pretty good conversation today. He found me through the Fly Rabbit channel. He said that they talk about me a lot over there on that channel. And he came over here to see what it's all about. So good to have him here. Hope you'll make him feel welcome. Gary, if you got any questions, comments, feel free to throw them in and we'll get to them just as quick as we can. Newman Attack channel member, we should issue a license to anyone with a pulse. We don't need safety. It just makes sense. I was thinking back while I was reading your comment. There was a trainer at Swift. I don't know if the video is still up. And while he's training a guy that had only been in this truck like maybe one day, he was doing a live from the passenger seat. And it's like, man, when you've got a brand new trainee in your truck, at least the first week, don't you kind of need to be paying attention to them? You can go back and look through my 4.5 years worth of videos. One thing, I gave myself a lot of self-imposed rules. One of them was that I don't do videos while I'm driving. And now I may show dash cam footage or something, and I may do a voiceover on it, but I'm not going to film while I'm driving. And I've got some GoPros here that one of my viewers gave me. I'm working on setting those up so I can film like some footage of me driving and stuff like that. But I try to, if you ever watch one of my especially recorded videos, I try to set the camera up in a way where you can see out my driver's window and see that the truck is not moving. And I've encouraged y'all in multiple videos that if you watch me while you're driving, to turn the screen where you can't see it and just listen to the audio. Play it through the Bluetooth on your radio or something like that. If there's something visual I do, you can always go back and look at it later. If you know, I'm showing you a chart or graph or something you need to see. I rarely don't do that, or I rarely do that. It's more of a video podcast is how I would describe it. It's a podcast where you can also see me. And there's been some interest in me converting these live streams and some of my recorded videos into a podcast. I'm looking into that as well. So you may be able to listen to me on Spotify or something here real soon, or Apple Podcast or whatever they call it. I'm still learning about all that stuff. I just started listening to podcasts a few months ago, and so I don't know a lot about it. I've still got a lot to learn. Seems like every time I sort of kind of get the hang of one format or platform, somebody says, hey, can you add this, this, and this also? And so then I got to go back and re-educate myself again. Ted Van Buskirk says, hello, sir. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Thank you for being here tonight. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do a show. I generally like to do them around 6 o'clock. And I got to town and was just starving. So I had to eat and do some stuff before we could get on here. It takes a little while to set up the show as well. And then it never fails last minute when you're getting ready to go on. Something crashes and you got to reset this or do that. And so this by far is not the most professional live stream on YouTube. It's just a regular guy doing the best he can. Newman Attack channel member BlackRock did the math. They're going to make real money on these immigrants, and they don't care what all these huge YouTubers have to say. Yeah, that's true. There's definitely a reason they're doing this. I mean, it's cheaper labor, and but it's at what cost? You know, you always heard the saying, "You get what you pay for." Well, right now we're getting what we're paying for. We're getting with these cheaper rates, we're getting people that are skirting the rules, people that don't even speak English. They're just glad to be here. People that can't read our traffic signs. And unfortunately, it's costing us lives. You guys, I mean, you'd be better off to pay $1 or $2 more for whatever product you need than you would to screw an American worker over and have the dangerous highway situations that we got going on right now. And if you go to a shipper or receiver right now, a lot of them will tell you, man, they've had a bad experience with a foreigner. I stood in line forever the other day because the guy in front of me, they were asking him for a pickup number, and he didn't even have enough knowledge of the English language to understand what they were asking him. And so that's a big problem that hopefully we're getting it fixed. There's still so many states that aren't enforcing the rules, though. And that's why I don't think the economy is rebounding as quick as we'd like it to. But this is the new scam in trucking on the load boards is they got these drop trailer loads. They've always had them, but they're a lot more prevalent now. I would say 60% of the loads I saw today were this way, where they don't have to pay layover to detention because they'll just keep you there forever, 2 or 3 days while they unload you one pallet at a time. Chris Bollinger, whoop, whoop. Glad to see you in here, my friend. How's your week going? Robbie Ross, channel member, moderator, member for 22 months. Can you believe it, folks? Almost 2 years. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I'm doing some inside jokes here. So if you're like, I wonder why Trucker Todd's saying that, I'll guarantee you somewhere out there, there's 2 or 3 guys that are laughing their tails off right now. All right, I'm going to pull that off there so you can see all these graphics I worked so hard to get on your screen, and give y'all a chance to type any questions or comments you might have. While I'm doing that and while people are typing, give this video a thumbs up, share it on your social media platforms. And whatever you do, please, please, please subscribe. I'm putting out videos like a crazy madman right now, and you need to be notified when they come out so you can watch them, and I'll appear higher in the YouTube algorithms, and then I can make more videos. Also, like, let me get back to this one. Like Robbie Ross was saying, membership does have their privileges. And while I can't articulate what those privileges are at this time, I do appreciate it. It does contribute to the channel. It does help the channel. I did release 2 videos this week that were previously only a members only video. And one of them, the hurricane video, has got a lot of positive feedback. That video was 2 years old, even though a lot of you are just now seeing it. And several of you have told me that you'd like me to do a follow-up video given my takes on hurricane. They've made some changes over there, which I hear are pretty positive. And so in the coming weeks, I'll try to get a video out about that as well. But you won't know if you're not subscribed, so make sure you do that. All right, all that rambling I did got us one more comment. So if you're typing, type faster. I need you. Newman Attack, channel member. Don't forget about the multi-stop loads. They're pushing below the average. Can you believe how bad it's gotten? Oh, let me tell you something about that. There was a load I was looking at that was going from like Lubbock to, I think, Kentucky or North Carolina, somewhere over there. And it had a stop that was like 300 miles out of route. And, of course, they didn't figure that mileage in there. So when you looked at the load, it looked like, man, a pretty decent paying load. When you added that extra 300 out of route miles you had in there because they were sending you, I think, somewhere up in Indiana or something, it turned out to be a really bad paying load. And luckily I caught it. I would love to tell you it was skill and knowledge. It just was pure luck that I caught it. And I did the math, and it just didn't make sense. But I'm sorry, folks. These inside jokes are cracking me up. But somebody didn't do the math. Somebody saw that load and went, wow, $250, $260 a mile, I'll take it on a long load like that. And it ends up being like $1.60 when you add all those extra miles in. So be real careful. As people on the load boards get smarter, these brokers are going to get trickier. And you've got to make sure that you're not a victim of one of their efforts to fool you. And, yeah, it's just been, I was, I don't know. I got to be careful what I say. I don't want to get myself in trouble. But these, there's enough there that we can all make money. There's enough there the brokers can make a good living and the drivers can make a good living. And we have to find that middle ground. We don't need the drivers making all the money and the brokers starving to death. We don't need the brokers making all the money and the drivers starving to death. And, I had another one today. It was Amarillo to Clovis, New Mexico, 100 and something miles. And the lane average was like 650. He's paying $400. And I was trying to get him to come up to about 500 or 600 to at least get closer to the lane average. And he's like, no, I'll just wait till somebody will pull it for 400. And I said, you realize that load's supposed to pick up in 2 hours, right? And he said, yeah, we'll just move it till tomorrow. And I'm seeing a lot of brokers do that too. They'll just move it till tomorrow, which for those that don't know, that's horrible customer service. that shipper's got that stuff probably pulled and sitting on their dock ready to go on a trailer while it sits there for 2 or 3 days because the broker is greedy or the broker really underbid it. And if they did, that's their own fault. Just because the broker underbids a load doesn't mean I'm going to underbid it. So, they keep saying, well, somebody will pull it. Well, other trucking companies are welcome to lose as much money as they want to. It's not going to be me. Hey, looky there. Got to pull this up. Birthday boy, channel member and moderator and big channel supporter, Robbie Ross. If you have Netflix, be sure to watch the new Dallas Cowboys documentary. I do have Netflix, and I am going to watch it. I just don't know when. I have been covered up lately, but had a pretty good week. Things are slowly turning around for me, and I just hope it continues. This setback today of not being able to book a load really didn't help things, but I'm okay as long as I get out of here tomorrow. And what I'm trying to do strategy-wise, I'm trying to get back over to either Dallas or Houston because those areas always seem like they have a lot of good paying loads out of there. And by Friday, I'd like to be on something decent over the weekend to where I can start next week strong. All right, I'm going to paraphrase this next one, make it more family friendly. TQL, which is a very large brokerage, can, let's see, how could I paraphrase that? Let's just say that Newman Attack does not like TQL, and he believes nobody should haul for him. I would say, generally speaking, nobody does haul for them except new carriers that have to the first 6 months until they get some time under them. And what I'm hearing from new carriers is if they don't have an inspection, that seems to hurt them. So they're going into scale houses and asking to be inspected so that they can get in better with the brokers. I did pull one of their loads recently, I believe earlier this week or at the latter part of last week, and it was a soup sandwich mess, not necessarily because of TQL, but I can tell you that they are not my first choice of brokers to go through. They're generally near the bottom of my list. I've got them in order of who I check first and work my way down, and they're either at the bottom or second to the bottom. I don't remember, but yeah, I'm not a big TQL fan either. Channel member, birthday boy, and moderator, Robbie Ross. It's 8 episodes. He's referring to that new Dallas Cowboys documentary on Netflix. So check that out. If you get a chance, I'll be watching it as soon as I can. Gary Cook, channel member, good evening, Todd. Sorry I'm late. I'm at the Loves in Madison, Ohio. I'm east of Cleveland, Ohio. I have to deliver 10 miles from where I am. Sounds like you're set up good. I got a late start tonight, too. Seems like I was about 5 minutes late. Right before I was about to go on, I started having all kinds of technical difficulties. Some of them was equipment, some of them was network, and some of it was little stuff like I forgot the charger for my cell phone. So had to get all those things squared away before I could get on here. If I could get back in the habit of doing these more regularly, several things would happen. My viewership would go back up to where it used to be. I'm currently getting less than half of the views I used to get. And it's just because people don't know when I'm going to be here, when I'm not going to be here. And I get a lot of text messages every Tuesday and Thursday. Hey, are you doing a show tonight? And half the time I have to say, I don't know. It depends on where I'm at that time, how my signal is, things like that. But I really am trying to get better. I got a backlog of videos to put out. I was going to cut those today, didn't get it done. I'll try to do that tomorrow. Especially if I can get a load fairly early in the morning, I should be able to put out one or two tomorrow. Red Raider Reloading channel member, or no, he's moderator, I'm sorry. Is the documentary under fantasy? No, they'll only put it under fantasy if it shows them winning a Super Bowl. I'm joking, folks. Newman Attack, channel member, $20 Venmo reward for anyone that can show proof of TQL offering at least the average for a one pick, one drop load. They do it, but it's rare. It has to be a load that they need moved really, really bad. Typically, they won't haggle at all. I got a couple of brokers like that. I mean, you can call and try to bump them $50 and they're not moving. And 99% of the time TQL's that way, but occasionally they will negotiate with you. But Newman, if you want to send me $20 on Venmo, or if any of you'd like to send me $20 on Venmo, here comes the salesman in me. Click on the title of this video. The description will drop down. And it's got my Venmo. It's got my Cash App. It's got my PayPal. So you can donate to your heart's desire. Also, you can follow Robbie Ross's lead. And you can do a super sticker or a super chat by clicking the little $ down by where you type your comment. Actually, there's several places you click. You've already done channel member, which is the join button. But yeah, if you're looking to do a Venmo reward to me, because I have seen them before, you can just take my word for it and send the 20. Newman Attack, channel member. TQL ran the numbers. It's better to take 50% of the load, screwing the drivers. It just makes sense. Yeah, I would love to come on here and defend TQL, but I just can't do it. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Oh, man. Even huge YouTubers like myself, they take 50%. Oh, that's so funny. If you guys could hear some of the off-air discussions that take place, they're hilarious. People doing impersonations of each other. All right, we're caught up again. This may be a short one if you folks don't get to typing. I've got the last one I did, I was in a group chat and several people said, "Hey, man, we were getting ready to type stuff when you went off. You went off too soon." And so I kept warning I was about to end it, and nobody said nothing. So I did. I do got some stuff to do tonight to get ready for tomorrow. So if we don't do a super long one tonight, that's what I'll be doing. Chris Bollinger, TQL and JB are in a race to the bottom. Yeah, JB Hunt, what they'll do, like if I get on there and look right now, probably Thursday or Friday is the next load they'll have available. And they'll put a bottom of the barrel price out there, and then they'll offer you the opportunity to bid. And let's say that load's worth $2,500. You'll put in your bid for $2,500. And JB Hunt won't say yes. They won't say no. They'll just leave it sitting there. And they'll wait for drivers to cut each other's throat. And, let's say Chris and I are bidding on the same load. Chris might undercut me $100. I might come back, undercut him $50 or $100. Some foreigner or desperate person will come in there and undercut both of us by 50%. We're at $2,400. They'll come in at $1,200. And then somebody else will come in and undercut him. And a load that should have paid $2,500 will end up being $1,200. JB Hunt will just sit there and wait for drivers to cut each other's throats. Now, am I criticizing JB Hunt? No, it's a a great business strategy on their part, but it just shows that there's no unity among drivers. What good does it do me to outbid Chris on a load if I'm going to lose money hauling it? And I mean a lot of money. Some of those loads, some of those 3-day loads, not on just JB Hunt, but on all the load boards, some of those 3-day runs showed I'd lose $1,500 if I hauled them. So $500 a day. How long can you sustain a business losing $500 a day? Not very long. Now, are there reasons why you might do that load? Yeah. If I have a family emergency, I don't care about the rate. I'm going to get home for that family emergency. If I've got, a super important doctor's appointment that I've waited months on, yeah, I'm going to take that load and I'm going to go. And JB Hunt's and several of other of these brokers are banking on that. But man, if Chris and I are negotiating and I put 2,500, he ought to come back at 2,475 or 2,450, not $1,200. And the attitude of these brokers, I've had several of them lately. They're going, well, if I just wait long enough, somebody will haul it. And I'm like, man, it's supposed to pick up in 3 hours. Why hadn't somebody got it? If people haul it all the time at this rate, why hadn't somebody picked it up yet? And I've yet to get a good answer out of any of them for that. If it's such a great deal, why isn't anybody doing it? And if he hauls it at that rate all the time, if he hauls it for $400 all the time, why is the average $650? Somebody's getting a lot more than $650. If he's always selling it for $400 and the average is $650, somebody's getting it for $1,000 pretty regularly to offset that $400. Newman attack, channel member CB, better start typing. He may want to use voice to text. I don't know if he's a fast typer or not. Newman attack, channel member again. Don't forget RXO. I've seen them post fair rates, but they will not negotiate on the unfair rates. Yeah, they're on my list. I believe they're about the 4th or 5th one down. I do check them every day. All of these brokers, your contact there can make you or break you. And the contact I have for RXO, she can be kind of slow to respond sometimes. She gets more time off than anybody I know. And so, when I don't, if I can catch her in the office, I have pretty good luck with her. And she's real straightforward. She's like, man, Todd, this is it. This is all they're going to pay. And sometimes I take it, sometimes I don't. And she's never chastised me over it. She understands. I've had brokers tell me, Todd, I think the quote you gave is extremely fair. I don't know why we've got this load so cheap. And so I think I know what I'm doing, but it depends who you ask. There's guys in the company here that don't think I know what I'm doing, that think they are better at this than me. And I would say it's apples and oranges because they're going for something different than I am. They're going for outperforming me by $100 a month or something. I'm going for work-life balance right now. I was home 2 or 3 days ago. I'm home again. Now, granted, they're overnight visits. I leave the next day. But, I've got a decent work-life balance that a lot of these guys that run around saying they outperform me don't have. And I'm not knocking them. If that's what they want to do, then that's fine. But they shouldn't knock me either. Gary Cook, channel member, it's raining pretty good out this way now. This is good sleeping weather. It's nice and cool. Yeah, I love to sleep when there's a light rain and the breeze is cool. I love the smell of rain when it's raining. Maybe not truck stop rain, that distant smell of urine in the distance, but in a normal location, the smell of rain is awesome. Also, if you're in like a house with a tin roof, when the rain hits a tin roof, it makes kind of a neat sound too. Chris Bollinger, I'm on RXO now. I got him up first try to the lane average. That's awesome. Even if we can just get everybody up to the lane average every time, it's going to have long-term benefits. The brokers are going to throw those lane averages in your face when it benefits them, and they're going to say, oh, we don't use those when it doesn't benefit them. But everybody looks at them. It's just like in the car business, the blue book, which it's not blue, it's yellow. I don't know why they call it the blue book. The NADA. If you go up to a dealership and you say, my car's worth this amount, that's the blue book on it, they're going to tell you, we don't go by that. It's just a guide. But then when they turn around and sell that car, they'll go, we're selling it for $1,500 under book. Well, why are you quoting me numbers that you don't go by? I may need to do a video on that. Things to say and not say at a car dealership. For example, I'll give you another quick one. When you go there, your salesman sits you down at the desk. What's the first thing they do? What kind of payment are you looking for? You never want to answer that question. Let's talk price, because they can get your payment to pretty much anything you want if you put enough money down, if they extend the term out long enough. There's car loans now that are 72 months. In some cases, they can go potentially longer than that. So you don't want a 6-year-old car note when most people want to trade in a year and a half or 2 years. So don't haggle monthly payment, haggle price. That monthly payment and all of that, you haggle later. But maybe one of these days, Robbie Ross also did car sales and finance. Maybe me and him will do a show together one day and kind of reminisce about the car days and talk about things to look out for when you go in to buy a car. Newman Attack channel member it's always the same line. I get it pulled for this rate all the time. To be fair, it could just be our rep here. No, they all say that because it's the bandwagon thing. Everybody else is doing it, so you should do it too. And it's the same thing they told you when you was a kid. If little Johnny jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge? Same thing here. If everybody else is making a stupid business decision, should you make a stupid business decision? And I keep saying it in my videos, no deal is better than a bad deal. I mean, if you're going to lose $500 a day pulling a load, don't do it. Stay at the truck stop. Get a hotel room. Heck, that's cheaper than pulling a load at $500 a day loss. Spend the weekend in a hotel. It's cheaper. If you're close enough to the house, deadhead home. Come back out when you find something decent. Now, there's a flip side to that. If I get to looking in the morning, I'm going to be a little more negotiable, a little more flexible, because you can, I remember in the old days, people would sit in California a week waiting for a load that paid decent. Don't do that. You're losing money then. But those rates are never going to come up as long as they got people that'll pull it at that ridiculously low rate all the time until they go out of business because they can't maintain their equipment. Tell them like I told that broker, that load's supposed to pick up in 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. If you get it pulled for that all the time, where's those guys at? Why are they not pulling this? And it's a way of calling the broker a liar without calling them a liar. But they need to know that you know. And sometimes that's all you get out of this. You're not going to win the battle, but they need to know you know. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. Does Blue Book going to cut you a check for what your expectations are? Yeah, that's a great point. And some car dealerships that will say that sometimes. Well, that sounds like a great deal the Blue Book's offering you. See if they'll cut you a check for it. And I think that's another thing too. I'm glad he brought that up. A lot of people don't realize that when you trade a car in you owe money on, The dealership's actually buying that car. It's real money. They have to send a check to your lien holder and wait for the title to come in. Now, if it's a car you own free and clear, they can kind of hide it in the numbers. And I did that on some deals to get my grosses up and make a little more money. If a car was worth $2,000 and the guy said he wanted $1,500 for it, I'd meet him in the middle. I'd say, man, I know you wanted $15 for your car. I got you $1,750. And then that other $250 that I saved from the $2,000 they bid on the car would go into my gross. And so that was a way to get the commissions up a little bit and still have a happy customer because they got more than they even wanted. Hey, we got another one here. Newman Attack, channel member, in memorandum of his friendship, 2024-2025. Yeah, I just learned that you and him were friends for a shorter time. I thought you were the friend of 20 years, and I got corrected the other day. But, I've said this before about family members and even a few friends. I'm not going to beg to be in anybody's life. If the particular person you're talking about asked me to never call them again. Actually, he screamed it in a really high voice. And so I'm going to honor his request. I don't have any plans to call him again. And, the thing about being upset all the time is it eats at you, not the person you're mad at. He can sit over there and be angry and tore up and upset, and it doesn't affect the happiness in my life one bit. Gary Cook, channel member RXO, isn't that XPO? Yeah, yep, it is. And they used to be Conway, I believe. They've been several names. Coyote. They were Coyote for a while also. They've been a few names. Even in the short 4 years or so that I've been on the load boards, they've changed names a few times. And I would say it's kind of their own, not them specifically, but a lot of these brokerages that are having trouble, it's because their rates are so cheap, nobody's pulling their loads, and shippers are going to other brokers. I mean, they could actually make more money by having smaller margins, but they don't see that. This is another good one. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. Many people never take into account their negative equity when trying to get them bought. Yeah, that's true. So what happens is, and here in Lubbock, the dealerships have them all the time, these upside down sales where they tell you what they'll do. They'll help you trade out of your car even if you owe more on it than what it's worth. Dealerships refer to that as being upside down. And so say that your car's worth $5,000 and you owe $7,000 on it. They're not really giving you $7,000. What they're doing is they're paying your car off at $5,000, and they're taking that $2,000 of negative equity and they're rolling it into your loan, usually taking it out of the gross so the salesmen get screwed in the deal too. And sometimes if your credit's really good, the bank will let them go over what the actual value of the vehicle is. So people will trade in something little or something nice like a Tahoe, and they'll go to an economy car thinking that they're going to lower their payments, and their payments are actually higher because of their negative equity. Or, I mean, there's just lots of things you've got to consider there. Or they might have 2 years left on their Tahoe, and after they switch to the economy car, they got 4 or 5 years because they had to extend the term to try to get the payments down. So nobody's eating that equity. It's being accounted for somewhere. Newman Attack, channel member Jevic. Yes, sir. Hey, here's a guy I hadn't seen in a week or two. Kevin Snipes, good evening, sir. Good evening, man. Thank you for being here tonight. We're just chilling, having a good time, complaining about brokers, talking the car business a little bit. You might wonder why I've got the Dallas Cowboys shirt on, the AT&T Stadium in the background. Today is Robbie Ross's birthday, so we're kind of celebrating his birthday. And it's just kind of a free-for-all night talking about whatever everybody wants to talk about. The comments have really slowed down, and the views have never really taken off tonight. So tonight's the night. If you got something you want to talk about, throw it in there, and we'll get into it. If not, we'll wrap this up pretty quick. Let me see what's going on behind the scenes. I'm typing, hoping that will inspire you to type. Get back here. It'll show it on my phone before it shows it on my screen. So that's why I've got it going on the side here. I just got text. There will be more comments following shortly, so we're going to give it a second, let them get up here. I was really hoping we could get some feedback from everybody, what their week's been like. My truck's running good. Everything's going good. Just, man, I'm working. I know I mentioned I've been home twice this week, but it was just for the night and back out. All right, let's see here. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. My birthday scared away viewership tonight. No, I know Racing Ray had to go somewhere tonight. He's out of town. I mean, frankly, this is all my fault because I hadn't been reliable with the Tuesday and Thursday shows for, quite honestly, the last year. And so people just don't know when I'm going to be here and when I'm not. They go on with their life. We'll get a lot of people in the replays. And let's be honest, a lot of people are out celebrating Robbie Ross's birthday tonight, and that's why they're not here. So they'll watch on the replay after they get done celebrating your birthday. Newman Attack, channel member. Tell me about Texas and the Southwest on the market. I've never ran it on the spot market. So it's kind of weird. Texas to Texas loads, which are called intrastate, are usually pretty good depending on where you go. It's like anywhere else. Going into El Paso can be kind of tricky. Coming out of El Paso can be great. Same thing with Houston. Going in can be tricky. Coming out can be great. Intrastate loads in Texas are generally pretty good. And if I start needing to make some good money, Scott will say, man, you need to get back to Texas and do your Texas thing. And yeah, that's that. Now, going to Phoenix, same thing. Horrible going to Phoenix, but I've had pretty good luck coming out of Phoenix. I don't go to California or Oregon. Sometimes you can get a decent load from like Denver over to Phoenix or Phoenix to Denver. But it's kind of like Montana and all of that. It's feast or famine. Sometimes you can go in there and hit a home run, and sometimes you can struggle to get anything. But typically it all pays good. It's definitely easier to find parking out there. And a lot of people call me when they're out this way and ask me about loads and where to go and where not to go and things like that. If you ever decide to come out this way, you've got my number. Holler at me and we'll talk about it. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a different beast out here. But I like it because it's wide open roads. You can get better fuel economy. Um, Parking's always easier. Typically, there's not as much DOT hassle unless you're in like New Mexico or something. So I enjoy running this part of the country, but I've been out here so much lately. I would kind of like to run out east some and get over there where you guys all are. Coyote was UPS. Yeah, they were, but they folded in with somebody. That was Gary, channel member. I believe I believe they folded in with. Well, I could look and tell you. Yeah, I believe they folded in with. All right, so let me look and see if I can tell real quick. I'll look up one of their old loads. Yep, they folded into RXO because I had the same rep at Coyote that I got now at RXO. Newman Attack channel member with another $2. Love you, miss you, boo. Sari McLaughlin music. Are you leaving or are you still hanging around? Steve Given, I just got here. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming in tonight. Wow, Robbie Ross, channel member moderator, mention my name and get yourself a beer. So at this point in the video, I've mentioned you a lot, so it's like a 12-pack. Correct. Newman Attack, channel member. Coyote is now RXO. Yep, and they were also XPO, and they've been several things. Several of them merged together. And I believe Convoy is becoming part of the DAT board, if I remember correctly. Let's see, I got another message here I got to read. I'm not good at that yet. I still haven't got that. My text messages synced up. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to go back to this one because this was directed at another YouTuber that's no longer friends with him. I recommend that when you do the $2 chat, say that it's sponsored by Bojangles or White Castle. That'd be pretty hilarious. Or that restaurant on 75 in Florida. Newman Attack channel member, 200 miles to go. I have speech to text. Yeah, I use it almost exclusively all the time. I'm old. I'm slow. It just makes sense. It just makes sense to use voice to text instead of typing. But sometimes it'll make you illiterate. It'll change your words and make it sound like you don't know what you're talking about. So you got to watch it. Somebody's calling me. Hang on a second. I forgot to turn on Do Not Disturb. I don't know how to get the keyboard off here. Hang on real quick. I'll be right back. Who knows that Tuesday night? Okay, I'm back. By the way, this is that Road Warrior headset. This is the RW2. Somebody asked, they wanted to see me wearing it. It covers the whole ear. The other one just kind of goes over the top of the ear. I'm still enjoying this headset, and I'm saying that, receiving no commission or payment from them in any way. It's my honest opinion. I haven't put their link in the video or anything, but you can save 20% on one of their headsets by going back and finding that video of mine and watching it. It's got a link to get 20% off. Matter of fact, I may can put that link in the comments for y'all. That's the least I can do. Maybe if I can find the video. And it's been a while since I did it. Oh, that's when I was in a live. There it is. All right, it's coming up in the comments now, hopefully. All righty, that's that link for that video if y'all want to go check that headset review out. Somebody also wanted the fuel card one. It's in the description of my videos, but I think I can put it up for you too. Even if you guys don't want to get this fuel card, you should go check out this link. It's going to ask you a few questions. Man, what did it do? Hang on, it didn't put it there. Oh, yeah, it did. It'll ask you a few questions, but up at the top it says Trucker Todd. It's what they call a landing page. It's pretty cool. So I don't know how they put it on here. You'll probably have to copy and paste it in your browser, but that's how you do that. Let's get back up here. I think I missed some comments. Newman Attack, channel member. I really love Bojangles, and no YouTube star is taking it away from me. There you go. I've only ate it a couple of times in my life, but I had it recently a couple of weeks ago in his honor, and I got to tell you the truth, it was good. It was real good. If any of you go to Bojangles, make sure you use my referral link. Chris Bollinger, good night. Sweet dreams to the gang. Yeah, it's about 2 hours past his bedtime, so he's going to call it quits. Have a good night, Chris. Thanks for stopping in. Shoot, it's 9:14. It's getting close to my bedtime. Channel member, Newman Attack. That's what old people do. They fall asleep. Yeah. And Gary Cook, channel member, I heard California is building a new scale out by Coachella. It's supposed to be a huge scale. Yeah, what they need to build out there is affordable housing so they don't have so many people living on the sidewalks and in the ditches. Instead of building scales and taxing everybody, they need to build some affordable housing. We may lose power here in a minute. I'm not sure how all this is going to work. We got a pretty good little rainstorm coming. I just heard it thunder in the background. Newman Attack channel member, post your link for the headset and the fuel card. I'm ordering both. Yeah, I've got that. You should see it here shortly. Yeah, the fuel card, I was one of the first people to promote the fuel card. And a lot of people followed me after that. The headset, I found out about from people talking about it that went to Matt's and things like that. And I thought about it. I ran the numbers. It just made sense. And so, yeah, if you get the headset, use my link, not because I'll get money out of it, because I promise you I'm not making nothing on the headset, but so you can save that 20%. And then when you're on other YouTube videos and you hear huge YouTubers talking about what a great headset it is, tell them you already got it with Trucker Todd. All righty. I'm going to put the links I posted here shortly. There's the first one. That's for the headsets. If you like over-the-ear, RW2 is the one you want. If you like it to sit on top of your ear, RW1 is the one you want. In that review video, I recommend getting both because sometimes you want a headset that covers up your ear, and sometimes your ear gets sweaty and you want one that'll breathe. So if you got both, you can switch back and forth. I'm getting 2 full days easily out of the battery. I believe I could get 3 full days out of it, and that's with heavy use. What they say is true. You can walk all the way around the trailer, like while you're doing your pre-trip and stuff, and leave your phone in the cab of the truck. And I've never had it disconnect. Some of that, quite honestly, is going to depend on your phone and how strong of a Bluetooth signal it emits. But my iPhone 15 Pro Max has no problem keeping a connection. I've been in the trailer, using my blower, blowing it out or sweeping it out and taking calls. And I have people call me all the time while I'm doing a pre-trip or a post-trip or airing up a tire or something like that. So checking my lights. So it really is a good headset. It's super comfortable. And I'm saying that without any financial benefit to myself. So you can take me at my word. I think you're going to like it. They do sell them at truck stops. Why do I need to buy it with your link, Todd? I can buy it at a truck stop. Well, because it's going to cost you at least 20% more. I'm seeing the truck stops are charging $10 to $20 more than what they are even on the website without my discount. But I haggled and negotiated to get you that 20%. And I hope you'll get that 20%, not for my benefit, but for your benefit. All righty, let's go to the other one. Here's the fuel card. ES Advantage. It's not a perfect fuel card, but it's very, very good. 9 times out of the 10, it's going to be your cheapest option. It's like anything else. It has its pros and cons. I've done videos about what I like about it, what I don't like about it. But, it's free to find out about it. You put that link in your browser. You answer about 4 or 5 questions. They'll call you in a couple of days and go over everything with you and answer all your questions. And then you can make a decision if it's something you want to do or don't want to do. Okay. This is talking about the Gary Cook comment about the California building the scale out there. And Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator, says there is a scale there. Been closed from construction, Gary. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. If I have Bojangles, I better put on my Depends or it's trouble. For those that don't know, maybe you just joined us. Robbie Ross, today's his birthday. I thought he was around my age. And while I've never gave it much thought, I didn't think he was wearing Depends at this point in his life. Newman Attack, channel member, the New York skyline is outside my window right now. Shame it's run by and full of idiots. Yeah, just driving today, I think the whole world is full of idiots. Uncourteous idiots. I couldn't believe some of the stuff I saw today. People would like swerve. They would do the craziest maneuvers and then flip you off. And it's like, I didn't do nothing. I'm just driving. You're the one doing the idiotic things. Maybe you're flipping yourself off. Newman Attack channel member, like Florida. Well, like we were saying, a lot of New Yorkers are moving to Florida, but maybe they're rubbing off on some of the Florida residents. It just makes sense. Newman Attack channel member, does Robbie want to be my friend? I have room for one. He's a good dude if you get to know him. So, I mean, y'all are both good dudes. Y'all might make really good friends. You never know. I like hearing that. I recently heard that two dart drivers that both watch my channel met at a truck stop by accident, and I think that's cool when the guerrilla gang can meet out in the open and become friends, whether I'm there or not. That's good. That's good. But anyway, we're caught up on the comments again. We're down to our lowest point in the show in viewership, so we may be circling the drain. This one may be coming to an end pretty soon. We're already at the hour and 17 mark. We got one more comment. Newman Attack channel member, I'm a backstabber. Did he call you a backstabber? I thought I was the only backstabber. I don't know. Maybe I am. If I am a backstabber, and if I did backstab this particular person, take me at my word, he deserved it. I don't think I am, but you never know. Maybe I am. You know, you're taught, if you ever take a psychology class, perception is reality. So if somebody thinks something about you, it's true in their mind, whether it's really true or not. Good grief. Gary Cook, channel member, didn't you have a solar powered headset? Yeah, there's still the Eco Pro. It's still out there, and I loved that headset. At that point, it was the best headset I'd ever had. The problem with it was that the plastic kept breaking. The plastic was really brittle. And I would tell them, and they'd say, yeah, we're changing plastic compounds. We're redesigning it. Let us send you another one. And they sent me like 4 or 5 headsets, and they kept breaking. And when I talked to Road Warrior, that was one of the stories I told them. I was like, hey, I had this Eco Pro that I really, really liked. Great headset, solar powered, but it kept breaking. And that's when they were like, hey, Todd, we're going to send you both of ours. We want you to treat it like you normally would. If it breaks, we want you to tell us. We want honest feedback, which is rare when you do a review. And so I was like, okay, I'd leave it up on the dash. The son would get it. I'd, drop it, things like that, normal stuff a truck driver does. And it never broke. I accidentally sat on it. And so I learned real quick that this thing was designed for comfort and durability for sure. To this day, if EcoPro contacted me and said, hey, we finally got the durability of our headsets figured out, I would love to have another one. I'd love for them to send me a free one, but I'd buy one probably. The problem is availability. They're not in the truck stops like Road Warrior is or nothing like that. You have to order them online, but you can still go back and find my old EcoPro videos, and you can still use that link and order headsets with that discount. I think it was 20% also. And I do receive a small commission on that. So you can get one of those solar powered headsets and I'll make a few dollars on it. But I think you're going to be as happy with this one. I just plug it in every other day while I sleep and it's ready to go when I wake up. But like I said, I think you could get 3 full days out of it, maybe 4, because most of you don't use your headset as much as I do throughout the course of a day. Newman Attack channel member, full disclosure. I'm assuming that's what was said about me. Maybe. I was told it was me, that he specifically said Trucker Todd was a backstabber. And honestly, I have no idea why he feels that way. If anything, you could make an argument that he backstabbed me. But, like I said, I'm not going to chase anybody. If that's how he feels, if he don't want to talk to me no more, if that's the worst thing that ever happens to me in my life, I'll be just fine. Newman Attack channel member. Join our 360 group so we can meet up and get White Castle. Yeah, back when my wife rode on the truck with me, we used to go to White Castle and we'd get those big cardboard suitcases, those things, and we would just gorge ourselves on them for a couple of days. And my wife used to crack me up. She would call them gut bombs. And if you've never had a White Castle, eat about 5 or 6 of them. They're real small hamburgers. Eat about 5 or 6 of them, and you'll understand why they call them a gut bomb. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. I'm going to crash. Left Minnesota at 4:30 this morning. Thanks again for the birthday wishes. Yes, sir. Have a great night. Holler at me tomorrow if you get bored. Hopefully, I'll be back on the road. You might want to wait till about lunchtime, though. I'll be at it hard and heavy in the morning trying to find a load. All right, Robbie Ross is checking out. We may be getting ready to check out too, as we're almost at that hour and a half mark. Can you think of anything else we need to talk about before we call it a night? Oh, boy. Give it about another 20 seconds, and then I'm going to check out of here. I sure appreciate everybody being here tonight. All the super stickers, the super chats, the comments, things like that. Hopefully we'll be doing another one Thursday night. Hopefully I can get some recorded videos out this week. Newman Attack channel member says, Fly Rabbit broke his heart. Don't worry, Newman, you'll find love again. All right. With that depressing note, as we all sit here and try to picture Newman's heart being broke, y'all have a great night. And, well, let me say it the way that irritates the trolls. Y'all have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs, but home on my mind. But these wheels turning round for my family and for my kids. For this life I wanna live. And this is why